Hey YouTube, this is Mr. Lubufu, and this is going to be a very short series, but I think a very cool one. And this is going to be Dark Ascension Spoilers Overview. For those of you who don't know, the first Dark Ascension spoilers were released on the home site of Wizards of the Coast today. 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So I just wanted to quickly go over some of the all the things that were spoiled today. So let's start the first one, which is going to be these promo cards. So here you can see this is going to be the pre-release card. It's called Ravenous Demon. It's a 4/4 for 5, and you sacrifice a human and you transform it without scrolling down the page, and you suddenly have a 9/9 flying trample. At the beginning of your upkeep, sack a human. If you don't tap it, it deals 9 damage to you. So this is very much like a Lord of the Pit, for those of you who know. I think it's okay. Kind of annoying that the pre-release card's not a mythic, because I liked it better, like Wormcoil Engine, for example. Made it really budget. Next, we've got the launch party, which we're going to have a werewolf. It's Mondrunen's Shaman. It's a 3/2 for 3 red. That flips into a 5/5. That's actually very, very good. That's whenever they cast a spell, it shocks them. So they really have to commit to trying to flip it back. So this plus like Moon Mist is really insane. Like, trust me. And then they spoiled one of the new mechanics, which is Undying, which is like better than Persist in my opinion. Undying is when it dies, if it had no +1/+1 counters, you return it to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter. So here, Strangleroot Geist I think is insane. It's so good. It's a 2/1 haste for 2 green that comes back as a 3/2 haste. I think this card is gonna set up some green aggro decks, which is pretty cool. Like I like what this card's probably gonna do. This is one of the ones that I think is to keep your eye on. Then we have Zombie Apocalypse, which is 3 colorless, triple black. Return all zombie cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and destroy all humans. I think this has the single greatest card name ever. The effect is fun. Whether or not it's going to see standard play, meh. Whether or not it's going to help generate tribal zombies, yes. And I think tribal zombies is going to be a fun, casual deck to play with. Then with the Biobox card, which I think is absolutely insane. Because of this, it might make zombies standard playable. It's a 2/1 for 1, can't block, that you can cast from your graveyard as long as you control a zombie. And if you think about it, you've got, Endless Ranks of the Dead, you've got Unbreathing Horde, you've got Call to Grave from M12. So tribal zombies I think it's going to be a good deck. I think it's something to keep in mind, especially if it's something interesting that you guys want to look at. Next, we're going to go ahead and look at the mechanics page that is on the home site. So here again, they released Undying with Strangleroot Geist. Pretty cool. Then they released Fateful Hour. Fateful Hour works as long as you have 5 life or less. In this case, Thraben Doomslayer is a 2/2 that taps to put 1/1 white human creatures, but with Fateful Hours, all your creatures you control get +2/+2. I think this is okay. This is my least favorite of the new mechanics. I really like Undying. But I think, this is going to form some very interesting situations in the sets. Then we have double-faced cards are back. They're not going to be an Avacyn Restored, but they are here. And here they release an uncommon Chalice of Life. Taps to gain you 1 life, and if at the start you have at least 10 life more than your life total, transform it. Notice the awkward wording. This is to help prevent some broken things in EDH. So when you transform this, it's Lava Axe. Target player loses 5 life. I think this might have an impact on Modern, because there's been a Martyr of Sands deck that's been pretty good. I think it's just so good that it actually doesn't need this. Sarah Ascendants tend to beat down pretty quick. But either way, this seems like a very a very fun double-faced card. Then here we have the checklist card. which there's a few things to pull. We got Loyal Cathar, nothing really to pull. Soul Caesar, we'll talk about in a second. Ravenous Demon, we've always gone over. Chosen of Markov is pretty funny, because remember, Markov and Nissa were both on Zendikar, and there was Nissa's Chosen, well, Markov's Chosen. You see what they did there? Afflicted Deserter seems interesting. Like, there's really not much I can take from Afflicted Deserter or Hinterland Hermit. Probably they're werewolves. Lambolt or Elder, there's not really much I can say about that either. We've already talked about that. Shaman. Wolfbitten Captive seems interesting. It's the werewolf deck finally gets itself a 1-drop. It's certainly gonna make tribal werewolves a fun attempt. Scorn Villager, nothing to know. Huntmaster of the Fells. This is probably going to be the mythic werewolf lord. He does red-green. I'm willing to bet that this is the mythic werewolf lord didn't show up in Innistrad. Chalice of Life we've gone over, and the card I'm most likely to, or most want to play with, probably won't have much of an effect in any standard format, but it'll be fun. It's Elbrus the Binding Blade. It's a 7 mana cost flip card. I'm very curious. That's the one I really want to see. Anyway, Morbid's back in the set. You can tell Hunger of the Howlback. It's put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and Morbid, he put 3 of them. I mean, it's a somewhat decent trick, I guess. I'm not a fan of it, personally. And here we have the flashback mechanic. It comes back. We've got Ray of Revelation, which is destroy target enchantment, has flashback for green. Sort of like the enchantment version of Ancient Grudge. And then lastly, they say they bring back curses. This Curse of Thirst, I think it's just plain bad. The 5 converted mana cost kind of ruins it, because it deals damage equal to the number of curses attached to them. But I think this is not going to do much. The next thing I kind of wanted to go over is just a quick little thing. It's the wallpaper here. Look at this dragon. No, it's not showing. That's Soren. Yeah, Soren's probably inside. That dragon looks beautiful. It's probably just going to be another giant flyer, but I love the art. Okay. Then here we have Mark Rosewater talking a bit about who's worked here, but then they have here this double-faced card called Soul Caesar. It's a 1/3 flyer for 5, and when it deals combat damage, you transform it, and if you do, you attach it to target creature, and it's mind control. I think this is going to be pretty good and limited. Standard, not so much. 5 mana for 1/3 flyer doesn't really affect the board too much. But I think that this card, if you're going to a sealed event for Dark Ascension, think about this card. It's pretty good. Mind control in general is a pretty good format. See, there's nothing else on this one. The last one we've got is the Dark Ascension Gallery. So let's go ahead and look at what we've got. We've got Gather the Townfolk. Put 2 1/1 white human creature tokens. Fateful Hour, you put 5 for 2 mana. If this was instant speed, I would think it would be insane. As a sorcerer, I think it's okay. I mean, I played Master's Call back in Besieged, and it was solid. So Gather the Townfolk seems like it'll be okay. Not as good as Midnight Haunting, because it's instant speed in their flyers, but who knows. Ray of Revelation, it's okay. Again, I've already sort of mentioned it. Same with Thraben Doomslayer. Increasing Confusion, oh my god, if this is not a limited bomb, I don't know what is. It's X blue, target player mills X. If it was cast from the graveyard, target player mills 2X. I think Increasing Confusion will be great in limited. Haha, you see what I did there? Don't look at the card name. It's a funny sentence to be taken out of context. But this card is insane. So good. It's so good, I honestly feel that milling opponent might be a possibility in Standard. I'm not sure. This is so good. So good. We've got Curse of Thirst and Gravecrawler, both of which I've mentioned. Gravecrawler's also insane, from what I can tell. This Ravenous Demon, Archdemon of Greed I've already mentioned. I think it's not so good. Zombie Apocalypse we mentioned. Faithless Looting we've known about for a while. It's definitely a nice tool for those mono red decks. Just flat out getting card quality twice. Here we got the Mondrian Shaman and Tovolar's Mage Hunter with the real art, not the promo art. Near Hearth Stalker, I think it's an okay card. I mean, it's a 4/1 that when it dies comes with 5/2. Kind of has some less than synergistic moments with, say, Rakish Air, but I think if you need a beater, he'll do quite well. So that's pretty much what's gone here. I also am a fan of looking at Magic the Gathering Salvation. It's definitely a nice one if you want to go to the rumor mill and check out some bonus cards. Like, they have this stuff pretty quick, so they had it up before my computer could actually load it, because the website was pretty crashed. So it's certainly something worth checking out. But yeah, so this is day 1. Feel free to tell me if I've gotten anything wrong. I know my initial rant on Innistrad was completely wrong, so please feel free to tell me in the comments down below, your opinions on this whole thing. Thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe.